Hi, how are ya? It is Cutie here, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I personally edit my TikToks in DaVinci Resolve. Create new project. I'm going to name it just where did it go, because it has to do with the TikTok itself. We're going to create this. Before you put anything into your workspace, we need to come up here to File and Project Settings. Before you do anything, first do that. We're going to be changing the timeline resolution. You need to manually change it. You're not going to find it here in the drop down menu. So you're going to go in here for the dimensions and put in 1080 by 1920. And then we're going to change the frame rate to 60. That is personally what I run it on. You do not have to. This is all personal preference. And then just come down here and click save. After that, we can come in here to our files and drag the clip in. Just going to drag and drop. That should work for you. We're going to come up here to transform, and we're going to change the zoom to 3.2. Go ahead and drag and drop the same clip onto the timeline again. This time we're going to be placing it above the track that we originally put. And we're going to come up here to transform and change this to 2.2. Up here with zoom. You are going to grab yet another one. We're going to be taking another one of these of the original video and putting it on top of that video file. And now, leave this one exactly like this. You don't have to change anything with the zoom. This is fine. We're going to come over here to the top in Effects. Click on the Effects tab. And then scroll down to the Resolve FX Blur. We're going to take the Gaussian blur. You can click and drag it all the way down back to the first original video that we put on the timeline. Come over to Effects, and you'll see Gaussian blur, because that's what we just put on this timeline video. You can mess around with how strong you want the blur to be. Personally, I just put it all the way up. Sometimes I leave it a little bit down, but I just put it all the way up because it really doesn't matter. Click on edit and it'll bring you over here. You'll see all the different video files, and then as well as all the different audio files that are on the timeline. Now we have 3 audio files that are the exact same, along with 3 video files that are the exact same. The video files are fine, you can leave that. But for the audio files, we don't want 3 of these. Get rid of 2 of these audio files. To do that, we just click on it once to highlight it, right click, and then delete selected. That's what I'm looking for. We're going to right click and delete selected, and it got rid of that one audio file. We're going to do that again for another one of those audio files. Click it, highlight it, and then delete selected. And now we only have one, and that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. We're going to be grabbing our camera to put it at the top or wherever you want to put your camera for your TikToks. I personally put mine at the top, middle. So we're going to come up here to our video 3 track. Right here you can see video 3. This is the video that is all the way on the top layer, the smallest one right now that we did not change the zoom in. You're going to click on this, highlight it, and then right here underneath the preview, you're going to see this drop down menu. You're going to click crop. You don't want to leave it on transform. Click on crop, and then you can crop out your camera using the dots for your TikTok. After we're done cropping out our camera, we're going to come back over here to the drop down menu and click on transform. This is going to allow us to move our camera around that we just cropped out. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to move it to the top. Okay, I feel like we have some excess video in the beginning, like it's a little extra, it doesn't need to be there, so we're going to also trim the video very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna cut it right here. So to do that, we're gonna make sure that the video is highlighted. We're gonna right click and put split. Do that for all 3 of your video files. Do not move your cursor at all. Like, don't move this little, I don't know what the hell this thing's called, timestamp. We're gonna right click on all 3 of the different video files and click split. 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 Okay, good. We have a perfect line down the middle of these 3 video tracks. So that means that we're going to right click all that we want to delete. So I'm going to be deleting from the beginning to here. And we're going to right click it and click cut for all 3 of them to get rid of that. It'll automatically close that gap and you won't have that empty space. Make sure you are doing this in the cut tab. You do not want to be doing this in the edit tab. So we're going to come up here to titles. It's in the top left. Click on titles. Make sure you scroll all the way up. We're going to play the video and find out what words are said first. So to add the text, we're going to come up here to our titles tab. And we're going to do this text plus. We're going to take this text plus, click and drag, and we're going to place it above all the video slots that we have on our timeline. It's going to go on top of them all. We're just going to drag and drop. Put that all the way to the beginning, because that's when she starts talking.
Cutie, I swear to God.
She says, cutie, I swear to God. So we're going to come over here. Make sure you have your text highlighted, like your text file highlighted. Come over here to the right. And we're going to type in cutie. I swear to God. Okay, I have it typed in. This is how it's going to look. We're not done yet, but like this is the layout that I have. I like to use this font right here. And I like to make it bold. And then you can click on color and change it to any color you like. I personally use this one for shield. And now, say you want to get an outline around your text, which is what I do. You're going to come over here to the shading tab. Click on shading. Select element, make that 2. And we're going to check in this enabled box. This brings up this whole thing, and you can tell that there's a tiny red outline around your text. So we're going to change this color to white because that is what I like my text outlined in. And then over here for properties, we're going to change the thickness to 0.1. And now our text looks like this, which is good. Come back over here to text. We're going to make the size a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit. You can type in a number if you want. I usually don't. I just kind of size it based on its appearance. And now, if to move this text, we're going to come back over here to the Edit tab. So click on Edit. And we're going to highlight the text in the timeline. And then drag it downwards, because that's where I typically have my subtitles, is here. Now that the text is where I want it to be, we're going to come back over to cut. Make sure to move this that you're using the transform option. You can also crop it down if you want to not have all this extra, but it really doesn't matter. It's not going to change the way that it looks. So just come back over here to cut. And now we have to trim down the length of this text.
Cutie, I swear to God.
Just pause the video pause the preview on where you want the text to end, and then click on text, right click, split. Now, if you don't want to have to keep going through that process of dragging the, text plus down, choosing the color, choosing the font, doing all that stuff, you don't have to. It's fine. We're going to come over here, highlight the text, right click, and copy. That's what we're going to do. You can use this extra text to form your other words. Now, if you would like to paste the text that you copied, so you don't have to redo it all, just come over to the spot that you want to paste it in. Like my cursor or my timeline tracker is where I want it to begin. We're going to right click and then paste, and that'll go where you would like it to. Okay, and now right here, I do actually want to zoom in on the penguin because as you can see, the penguin is on her head and she just doesn't know where he is. So we are going to zoom in here. So this is how we're going to do that. We're going to come to the beginning of this text where she asked, "What did you do?" And we're going to split on the video track number 2. We're going to split it right here in the beginning. Make sure you have that highlighted. Split. And then we're going to figure out where we want the zoom to end.
What did you do? Eat him? Bro.
And we're going to stop the zoom right here when she starts walking. So make sure you have your video track number 2 highlighted and split it. And then highlight this portion that you cut out where you want it to be zoomed in. And then come over to the edit tab. Make sure you have this portion highlighted. It's going to bring a little outline around the part that you're editing. And we're going to just go ahead and zoom in by using this corner on how far we want it to zoom in. And then once we get it to that part, make it as zoomed in as we would like it to be zoomed in. We're going to come over here to the drop down and click crop. And then we're just going to bring up the corners of the video. So we're going to take this back to transform. And then we're going to go back to our cut tab. And as you can tell, we made it to where the video zooms in right here. I'll show you in the preview.
What did you do? Eat him?
There it is. That's the zoom that we did. You can make this as drastic as you want. You can zoom it in as much as you would like. This is just personally how much I feel that it needs to be zoomed in for my content. I don't know. This is my preference. You can change it. And now we're actually going to be fixing something in this clip real quick. As you can tell down here at this audio, it does peak at the top. And I want to turn this down so we don't hurt the viewer's ears. We're going to come over to the edit tab. Come to the portion where the audio is peaking. We're going to make sure that the audio track is highlighted. And then we're going to click on this tool right here. This is the blade edit mode. And we're going to use this line for reference. Go to the audio track and we're going to clip out the part where the audio is peaking using the razor tool. Now make sure once you're done getting this portion out that you want to adjust the audio, get off of the razor tool because this is going to keep, slicing wherever you click. So come back to your cursor. Please don't make this mistake. It'll suck. We're going to come over here to the audio, click on the portion that we want to adjust the volume, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, just a tiny bit. I want to have this expression, like me dying of laughter, I want this to happen on the screen at the same time as Shield saying, "Where the fuck did the penguin go?" So what we're going to do is we're going to take this text of me, quote unquote, dying, and we're going to move it and just drag it on top of the other text that I want it to be overlapping with. You're literally going to drag it above the timeline that your text is on. So now you have yet another timeline to work with. Look at that. So many freaking timelines. This is fine. Everything is okay. Don't worry about it. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's really not. So I'm going to lengthen this. Sorry. I made this longer. And now we need to move the text so it does not overlap, literally overlap, with where Shields is. So we're going to come back over here to the Edit tab. Go to the text that we want to move. I'm going to be moving mine up towards where I am. And there, that's fine. I'm also going to rotate it a little bit. Then we're going to come back over to the Cut tab. Yeah, that's what it's called. And we're just going to finish doing what we need to do. Okay, so we have a gap in our timeline and we need to figure out how to get rid of this. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to the Edit tab. And now put your timeline cursor where this gap is. We're going to take our blade tool and we're going to cut the audio along where this timeline cursor is. We're going to do that for the beginning and the end of the gap. And then click on your cursor tool, right click the audio, delete selected, and then we're going to right click the gap and then ripple delete. Right click the gap where the audio is and ripple delete. And then what you want to do is you just want to make sure that the audio and the video is still lined up at this point. You can do that by either watching it in the other tab or you can come back to this tab. It's on your head! And just watch it from there. Just make sure that your audio and video is still lined up. Okay, I am all done editing the TikTok and how I want it to look. This is what my timeline ends up looking like after I am done fully editing it. This is what is normal for me. It might look different for you if you have different things you want to add or maybe not add. Like I said, to go through and watch this, all you're going to do is click on full screen and then you can preview your TikTok right here, which is what I'm going to do real quick. The TikTok looks fine, so we're going to come over here to this Deliver tab. It looks like a rocket. This is where we're going to export the video. We're going to title it Where the Penguin. The location, I'm going to put it in my TikTok folder because I have one of those. And then we're going to click save. And then add to render queue right here. And then it'll come over here to the render queue and you want to make sure to render all. Don't change anything over here. You don't need to. If you do, that's personal preference and you be an extra because everything has been fine with me not having to change anything. Okay, and there we go. When we go into our TikTok folder, you will see where your video is right here and it exported perfectly fine.
I swear to God.
So if this video did help you, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment down below, or if you would like a quicker answer, you can join the Discord. The link is in the description. And I'm going to be making a part 2 to this video to show how I personally upload them to TikTok because I upload them from my phone. So I will be showing you guys how I do that right here in this video. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Like I said, leave a like if it is, or leave a comment down below if you need any more help, or join the Discord. I appreciate you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!